Hi, my name is Mekalia. I'm a makeup artist, and today we're going to do a voodoo look on a friend. It's 11:49 right now, so it'll take about an hour and a half by the time we're done. I'm currently doing the stitching over the eye prosthetic that I made. Horrible at stitching, but I'll get there. Today I went real basic and stuck with tape, yarn. There's going to be paint and fake blood, then some tissue paper, and then Play-Doh. But the cool thing about SFX is the challenge is things are going to come up. You're not going to have the right product all the time, or something won't quite blend right and you have to learn how to work around that. And I was frustrated with that at first because I like to plan ahead and have everything go perfectly. But I think SFX has taught me a lot about being patient and being a little more artistic and creative, taking things one step at a time. I also had to learn how to use very simple products starting out, because no one in my family wanted to invest in SFX because it costs a lot. So I used Elmer's glue instead of liquid latex, and I did coffee grounds and really simple things. Now that I've actually cared about it for several years, I take the time to buy a little higher end stuff, but I still find myself going back to the really simple basics because that's what I learned with. And I remember doing the makeup in my room, and my dad was on the other side of furniture, so he didn't see me while I was doing it. And then when he finally got to see the finished product, he couldn't even look at me. He was so freaked out by it. That's when I knew that I had the potential to take it somewhere. So I'm going to school to become an American Sign Language interpreter, but on the side I'm taking some classes starting next year to do a little more of this and hopefully start out a career doing SFX to get me on my feet after school before I get into interpreting. My little sister has autism, and when I started working with special needs children, I saw ASL for the first time, American Sign Language, and that's when I realized that it's this own beautiful language and I wanted to learn it. And as I started to take classes, I realized that there's a thing called interpreting, and I could actually do it and work with deaf people and nonverbal people and have the opportunity to be in their lives and be in their community, which is a really cool experience. I would love to find a way to mesh the two. I'm still working on that, but if I could come up with a way to involve the deaf community, maybe some sort of haunted house that specializes, because there's a lot of experiences that I think hearing people take for granted that they have access to and the deaf might not. When I first started SFX, I had a lot of issues with it when I did it on myself because I have sensory processing disorder, so a lot of the gross, sticky feelings really bothered me, but I think that over time, being able to control them and work with them and use it to be creative has really empowered me to take challenges and work around them. So I really like that even though it's uncomfortable and tricky and sometimes I'm on a time crunch or I'm very flustered because it's something new, I've learned to overcome a lot of challenges, and that's helped me a lot in my own life. That's kind of what I think art is supposed to do. So I was walking down one of the main streets in Manchester, and there was a guy on a motorcycle who saw me, and he pulled over, and he was like, "Damn, can I get a picture with you? I want to scare my wife." I was like, okay. So he called his wife on FaceTime with me standing right there, and the poor lady looked so upset. But then she thought it was really impressive. She ended up calling her kids into the room, and then I'm standing there in the middle of the street talking to some guy and his wife and his kids that I've never met before. And they're all taking pictures. And I just thought it was this really cool moment of my art really captivating someone.